This might be among the worst lies I've ever heard a man tell. This dude told her that he had a heart condition that was eventually going to kill him. And that's why, I know, when I repeat it out loud, it sounds so bad. But he told her that he had this debilitating heart condition. He completely, broke up with her or whatever. I mean, he made it, and he said, Cari, he told her that he was thinking about moving to a remote island.
Wait.
I swear to God.
Jemele, what is your? Tell me. So I'm a polyglot. I love all love languages. That's what Buffy just said to us. And your love language is acts of service. So you say oil change, but it's also if I took you on a trip for your birthday, you get upset if it's not done perfectly. So I think it's a mixture of both.
What? No,
you don't be playing about your birthday. You want because your birthday is close to Christmas,
birthday,
so you want it to be done right.
Yes,
about my
so
birthday. That's what is that? What love language is that? Buffy, gifts of service or something? Gifts of service.
Yeah, gifts are a different one. Like acts of service are things that you do that make my life easier. So that's why I said, like, if you got my oil changed or you took my car to get washed or like how my husband, he takes, whenever I need gas, I just tell him and he goes and fills up my gas tank. That is an act of service.
Who still gets gas in California? That's so weird. Like, you're a weirdo for that. You need an electric car.
Well, how am I a weirdo for getting gas?
That.
I mean, although now,
it's like
the
weird,
way these gas prices are...
yeah, the way they set up for your savings and checkings, right? Okay, so... yeah, I know. Wait, where are you? Where in the world are you? I forget every time
Delaware.
I ask. Where are you today?
Delaware. Yes, I am.
So,
in the lovely
are you
state
hanging
of
out with Joe
Delaware.
Biden? Have you decided you want to hang out with Joe Biden?
I'm not hanging out with Joe Biden. I'm here to speak to these kids at the University of Delaware. You know what? I think my battery is dead on my light. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Coscarelli just grabbed his heart.
But yes, Cari, I am at University of Delaware. I'm speaking to some students later on today, signing some books, and doing all the adult things.
That's nice.
So, yeah. So I'm going to tell these kids, run far away from this business. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to tell them that. I always encourage them to come join the madness. Yeah, come join the madness.
Come join the madness. You speaking of madness, friend, we got a deal. We don't have to get to the particular, but we got a deal. You were right about the CBA agreement, but except you told me, Jemele, you're always right. Wrong. You told me 11:59:59. I still feel like it's 12:02. I feel like it's not 11:59:59.
Okay, my bad. I was 3 minutes late because they extended the deadline. You were 3 minutes late. Yeah, you was 3 minutes late. But they still haven't told us about rev share. I'm looking forward to see what that all looks like, what that'll pan out to be. I also, sorry, what were you going to say? Oh, no, I was going to say, I actually have a few details about this deal that I got, because I'm an intrepid reporter. I got some of my clandestine sources to give me a few details about what was going down.
So wait a second, we're gonna break some news.
Shams reporting. Yeah, I also saw Shams, not Shams. Shams Sharania. Also,
I've been calling him Shams. It's not Shams.
No, it's Shams. It's Shams Sharania.
Is it tomato?
Is it?
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Sure I'm right about that.
I don't know about. I had said it's so funny because you always get people's not you per se, but getting the names wrong. Let's get to the CBA deal in just a second. But I want to tell you, I have been calling this woman Cabot. Is that right? I'm talking about the Coldplay Affair lady. Is it Cabot? Is her last name Cabot?
I think that
Kristin
is correct.
Cabot. You don't.
Kristin Cabot. Yes,
okay.
That is her name. Yeah.
And Andy Byron. Okay, that's okay. So the name is correct. Okay, I call it Coldplay Affair. It's so unfortunate that if you Google Coldplay Affair, this is what you see. If I was her, I would want to hide under a rock for the rest of my entire adult life. Coscarelli, is your battery charged? Are you good? Are we safe to do the podcast? I don't want to disturb you.
Everything's fine.
Is everything fine?
Yes.
Jemele, per usual, Coscarelli's doing SOS signals while I'm he's moving around, he's dancing.
I haven't moved an inch.
He's looking. And it's just so distracting because it's just me and you right here. And then I see him in the background. He's like, save our ship. SOS. Nothing's wrong, Carrie. Don't mind me. So it's time to introduce the folks to Coscarelli. I think it's time to drop that. I think it's time to drop that tease that we've created to explain what I'm dealing with under these conditions.
Under these conditions? Okay. All right. Well, maybe we'll do that for this one so that the world they can fully embrace the Coscarelli-ness that we get to embrace at least 3 times a week. Yeah, they need to understand
working hard. Go ahead.
So you brought up the Coldplay affair. Kristin Cabot, Andy Byron, their actual names and not just the Coldplay folks. Well, she sat down with Oprah and was on her podcast. And, it just, once again, this is the millionth example of how women just get utterly demonized. For sometimes no big reason at all or no real reason at all. And she gave more of the context. So we found out some of the details that I think people, once the joke started, people just kind of ran away with it. And for one, she was in the middle of divorce proceedings. So her and her husband had been separated. They weren't even living in the same house. Her husband, the really interesting tidbit was that her husband, or at that point, her soon-to-be ex-husband,
was at the concert.
Was at the concert with somebody else. So this whole idea that she was just stepping out on her marriage was never true. And she cleared up that the reason she had that reaction was because she said her husband's family is really private. They actually, for what it's worth, they were on amicable terms, and she did not want to do anything that would be perceived as publicly embarrassing him. But the real tea was that she said she basically called the dude she was with, her former boss, Andy Byron. She kind of called him a liar and said whatever. She made it sound like to Oprah, from what I took about it, that she was very clear and transparent about her romantic situation, and he didn't have that same level of transparency with her.
I thought I read that Andy Byron, her boss, because he was the CEO of Astronomer and she was the head of HR. The irony of that is hilarious. And I read that she said his family was really private. And that's why she didn't. Did I misread that? And that's why she was like also embarrassed because his family was really private. And when she gave a quote, her quote was, I had a couple of high noons and I just went crazy. I was just like, I just don't believe her. I just really,
Ooh,
you had high noons at the Coldplay concert and you went crazy. No, I don't believe. It's just too convenient. I do believe that she was separated from her husband. I do believe that he was there, obviously, at the concert because her daughter told her. But I believe her reaction wasn't, it was about her husband, but she also knew that this man that she was with, that they were having an affair. And they hadn't told the company because she's head of HR. Like the way they were hugged up. And then did she even acknowledge the girl? I don't know. I didn't see the interview. Did she acknowledge the girl that was next to her, like hiding her face, who was also an employee of Astronomer? Did she even talk about that? The other girl was like, oh my God.
Yeah, the other girl she reacted in a way that indicated that everybody got busted. You know what I'm saying?
Basically. And yes, she may have been separated. So yes, she was fine. But I think she was fully aware that Andy was not separated from his wife. I think she was fully aware of that. I think she's not telling the truth. I think women know when men are cheating or when they're not fully available. And for her to allude to the fact that he was also, at least to her knowledge, separated and wasn't fully transparent is weird to me because they look like they got in trouble. She knew she was doing something wrong. So I didn't listen to the whole interview, but I do know from what I was able to see that I do think it's interesting that she wasn't doing anything wrong in terms of her husband saw her, whatever, no big deal. Like her ex-husband, soon to be ex-husband, she's like, they're really good friends and they have an amicable relationship. I believe all of that. I don't believe she didn't know that her boss hadn't fully left his wife, even though he said he was going to leave her. Women be knowing, like we just know. Like I have a hard time believing that they both just so happen at the same time were going to be leaving their partners. She divorced her husband. She filed for divorce. Oh boy, still with his wife, right? From my understanding.
I am not sure about that. We can check that out. But this was her quote. This is exactly what she said to Oprah, because she said that they ended communication last fall. And she told Oprah there was a big miss on honesty and integrity. He wasn't the person he represented himself to be to me, and lying is a non-negotiable for me.
Okay. Okay, so now she's fully transparent and doing all the things. I don't believe it. I think there's fault both ways. I don't know. I don't believe it. No. No. I don't believe it. Meanwhile, though, this does say something. She was definitely more vilified than he was because society hates women.
It's just that simple.
Society hates women, which leads me to my conversation about non-negotiables. You and I earlier had a conversation about if you're in a relationship, what is your non-negotiable, where you're just out? And for her, it was lying. For you, what is a non-negotiable?
Okay, so for me, and lying is a big one, but I would say like I'm still, I guess maybe this in today's modern age, this is a little old school. Cheating is something that I just have never really had a strong stomach for. And I do think that context is important in situations because I probably told my husband something that was probably dangerous to say to a man is, I told him that like if he cheated on me, I wouldn't automatically leave him. And that's because like I think the context of the cheating does matter a little bit. Like there's a difference between if it's a one-off and he just running around the city like Ghost and Angela in Power, where they skipping down the street, they both out here being wrong and they jogging and going on dates. Like that's a little bit different, right? But I think
so. If you saw him at a Coldplay concert, hugged up with a woman, are you packing your bags or are you staying? That's what I meant. There's some context for you.
Yeah, I mean, if I saw my husband at a Coldplay concert, my number one question would be like, when did you get into Coldplay? The other question I would probably have is, if you out there publicly sporting a chick, then that would let me know perhaps our marriage is over. Because, a concert is something that you take somebody to that you're like really into, that you're romantically, this is not just some physical attraction. Get my rocks off. No? You don't think so?
No. When you take somebody to concerts, I guess maybe you like them. Shoot, I don't know. Don't talk to me. I don't know. I'm the worst. But I will say this. So if your husband was at a concert with a woman, as Kristin Cabot was with Andy Byron, would you be like, I'm out? You didn't answer that question. That doesn't sound like it's a non-negotiable. It sounds like you done gave Ian a pass to be a hooker in the streets. Go ahead.
No, it would be that would be something that would be very hard to get over because one, he suddenly likes Coldplay. Two, he is at a concert sporting this woman publicly. Three, he has also publicly humiliated me. So like there's 3 levels to that, okay? That would be hard to get over. But I got to know from you, like, what's your non-negotiable?
The best part of this is that you use your thumb as a 1. When people use their thumb as a 1, they serious. Instead of being like 1, 2, and 3, you're like 1 because you want to fight. You like in 1 and then 2 and then 3 because that's like, it's on. My non-negotiable isn't cheating. Cheating isn't a non-negotiable for me. Also, it's almost because I think I have been conditioned by society to know that things happen. And no one's perfect. But it is, to your point, it is contextual. Like if you on a whole ass dating app and we go together, I'm breaking up with you. You know what I mean? And that means you're actively looking for someone. If we are married and you have a whole lifestyle with someone else, that means it's a wrap. Like you don't want to be with me. Like you want to be with someone else. Monogamy is a hard thing. And I understand that. I have more forgiveness for monogamy, especially if people don't have discipline in that area. I have a little more forgiveness for it. But if you're like a habitual cheater and it's just your thing, then I don't want to be with you. Like, come on, it's not even worth it. Like, it's not even worth it. My non-negotiable is just, I can't stand more than anything, which you're going to find very funny, just like Miss Cabot, I can't stand liars. Like, if you lie, like a habitual liar, it is a turn off to me. It's like, who are you? And I don't even know you because you're capable of lying with a straight face to me and not even blinking. And I understand there is those little lies that you'd be like, no, this is my hair, right? All this is me. Or it could be a lie like, no, I ain't never got Botox. Yeah, okay, I can deal with that. Or do you do anything to your face? No, I don't do that. No. You know, I don't mind that. Or is that your hairline? Is that Beijing? And you're like, no, it's mine. Sorry, it's rubbing off on you, but it's on me. Okay, fine. Those lies.
Totally acceptable.
Coscarelli, totally acceptable. Those kind of lies are because we both know you lying. So it's like it's a group lie. We both know you lying. But like lying about like, no, I don't even know this girl. I don't know how she even found my phone number. Or who are you texting at 2 a.m.? Oh, that was my mom. What? Stop it. You turned up and got out of the bed to text your mama back? Stop it. Those are unacceptable lies.
One of the greatest.
You see what I'm saying?
I do. One of the greatest threads ever on Twitter. And was this, I think it was a woman. I don't remember if it was a woman or a man, but they asked women to tell what was the most unbelievable lie that they ever heard from a man. And when I tell you, I was laughing at this entire thread for like an hour because
men are ridiculous.
Because it's not that men, and I don't want to put it solely on them. Women lie too, but like our lies, I feel like make a little bit more sense. Their lies are so illogical and just it's insulting. And then you get even more pissed off. It's like, you don't even love me enough to lie right.
I was dating a guy. True story. He told me he had to go out of town for work. And instead of us going on our mini vacation, he was like, let's just wait 2 more days. I have to go out of town for work. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm not thinking of it. So I'm just like, so he calls me from work. And he's all like, yeah, I'm in this town. I hate it here. I'm staying at so-and-so. He's like giving me all the details of where he's at. And I'm like, really? They got a Ritz-Carlton at the so-and-so, this small ass town he was in. I was like, that's weird. I've never heard of that. And then it was another lie. Oh, shoot. Yeah, hold on. There's a bunch of people calling me. Hold on. Oh, look, I gotta go. Everybody's, It was like all this extra detail. And I was just like, none of this is adding up, you liar. And so I Google, because I went to investigation. I was like, I texted him back. I was, there's no Ritz-Carlton in the town you're in. Oh, I meant to say, you don't know what hotel I was like, oh, this is lying. I was like, this right here is lying. Why are you lying? Why didn't you just say, I don't want to go on the vacation now. Let's wait 2 days so I can do whatever I got to do. Whatever that is, right? I didn't even care. Just lying. And I was like, oh, you don't respect me enough to even make up a good lie. But the thing is, with men, you and I have this conversation. Their non-negotiables is if you call them a bad word. You call them a B, right? You can't call a man a B. That's the end of the world, apparently. I found this out. You can't call...
How did you find this out, Cari? Share with the class.
My girlfriend was dating a guy who was cheating on her. And then apparently, like, they got into a really, really big argument. And he was jumping up and down, screaming in public, I hate you to her. Like, screaming, I hate you. And she was like, you're acting like a bee. And he was like, how dare you? How dare you? I can't believe you just said that. I said, wait a minute, let me get this right. This man was jumping up and down, screaming, I hate you in public, but you were wrong for saying you're acting like a bee. And most men are like, yeah, that's it. You can't call a man out his name. But he can scream, I hate you in public. I don't understand. Help. Make it make sense, Jemele. Make it make sense. Coscarelli, is that an end game if a woman calls you a bad word? I'm asking a man. Coscarelli, is that the end game?
I think the context matters, but in this context, that guy might have just wanted a way out of the relationship. Let's be honest. It's like I've heard women say
tracking.
I've heard women use the word weaponized incompetence for men. Like if you ask your boyfriend to clean the dishes and he doesn't really want to do it.
Yeah, he'll do it bad. Job. Yeah, so he don't ever have to be asked.
Right,
yeah,
exactly. It's the same sort of thing. It's like pushing the woman to a certain point, like a breaking point.
Yeah.
You get her there, so this way it gives you the excuse to go, I'm out.
I'm out. You're awful. You disrespected me. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Did you not just yell at me in public and say you hate me in front of strangers? Like, what are you talking about, sir? Anyway,
And
so
by the-
that
and by
to
the
me
way,
is how I found out.
And by the way, the term was, your friend said, acting like one. They didn't technically.
She didn't call him one per se.
Call them one per se. Said he was acting like one. I mean, my ex that cheated on me in the course of our back and forth, because you want to talk about lies. I mean, I think I told that story before about like how I found out he was cheating. He just, every lie just got increasingly worse. And finally, I got to a point where I'm so heated because I found out the full and complete truth, and I cussed him out. And during the middle of cussing him out, I called him a deceitful bee. and my friends still laugh about this to this day, because they were like, girl, I ain't heard nobody use deceitful since I was in Sunday school. Who the hell calls somebody a deceitful bitch? But I did. I called him a deceitful bitch. That's what I called him.
But by the way, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. Is that how we go? What the kids say? Sticks and stones break my bones. Buffy, help me. Sticks and stones may break my bones. Yeah, that's how I feel. Like I don't care at all. Like you can, I don't. I guess maybe I have to be in the midst of an argument. But if someone starts calling me names in an argument, it means that I'm registering. It means what I'm saying is true. It means that you're hurt by the truth. Because when you're in an argument and someone calls you on your stuff, you don't want to deal with it. Like you're like, oh boy. And I feel that way too. When someone tells me who I am, I'm like, how dare you identify me so accurately? How dare you? So I get it. I ultimately get it. But nevertheless, I think it's really funny how in this situation with Miss Cabot, she's explaining all the things, although I fully don't believe her. But I've noticed, oh boy, Andy didn't take a hit. She took a beating. Like she took a real bad beating. And he did take a hit. I'm not going to lie. He did take a hit. He had to step down from his job, all of the things. But I don't know if he was as vilified as she was. Like, it's like, what? How dare you, lady? It's always this, and I'm not trying to say, yes, I am trying to say this. Men suck sometimes. And so...
See, there you go, Cari. There you go. See, this why they be in the comments talking about that's why you ain't gonna have no man.
Talk. That's how you gonna ever have a man. That's why you're by yourself. You're lonely. You're pushing 100, and don't nobody wants you. You're dried up. You're dried up goods. And I just be like, LOL. I be like, LOL.
You'll be like, there my exes go right in the comment section, like always.
Per usual, you still mad because I ain't took you back. Get over it.
No, but you know what? I actually, us talking about like sort of diabolical lies in relationships remind me of a story. A girl, this happened to a really close friend of mine. This might be among the worst lies I've ever heard a man tell. This dude told her that he had a heart condition that was eventually going to kill him. And that's why, I know, when I repeat it out loud, it sounds so bad. But he told her that he had this debilitating heart condition. He completely, broke up with her or whatever. I mean, he made it, and he said, Cari, he told her that he was thinking about moving to a remote island.
Wait.
I swear to God, this is so true. He said he was going to move to a remote island and be by himself so he could die alone because he had a heart condition that he found out about. Okay. And, it was like, okay, this is very random. They have been seeing each other. Girl, fast forward. Not too long ago, she recently saw this dude. Girl, he married and everything. So she said, and she's
by the way,
on.
we have the same friend. I know who this is. That's what's so funny. That's why I'm crying laughing.
Right. Yes. But he told her that, and girl, she saw him not too long ago, and he married, looking perfectly 100% healthy. And she was like, "Would I be petty to be like, well, how come you didn't die? Would I be petty if I rolled up on her? Because she has moved on, and she's in a great place.
Yeah, she's happy,
fine. And
yeah,
she is fine. But he really told her, I got a heart condition that's gonna kill me, and that's why we got to break up. It's like, sir." Sir, was that necessary?
Meanwhile,
also?
I mean, it's just like you're awful. Meanwhile, she sees him running a marathon. He finished the New York Marathon. He came in the top place, won all the prize money. You're like, is that?
Look at
oh boy, you got the heart condition.
And
look at this motherfucker. He just did a whole marathon and did 100 sit-ups afterwards. So he's good, huh? Health is fine. Good. No girl. But it ain't no worse. It's no worse than women who make up extreme lies like they pregnant. Like, women do crazy things like that too. So I'm going to go ahead and give one to the men. Women make up crazy lies. They tell you, all kinds of things. They try to pay for you.
Our lies be diabolical and lies that you can't get over. Like this ain't this ain't your baby. Like this ain't your baby, or I slept with your daddy. Like it'll be something that you will have to go to therapy afterwards to get over it. I mean, I will say this: men's lies are so absurd, but they won't put you in a state of like horrible trauma. But women will tell the type of lie where you contemplate your whole existence.
Ain't nothing like a scorned woman. You want to hear it? You about to get it. And you will never recover because we be so fed up. We get to the point. We don't start there. We come in and we're coming in love. I come in love. I come in love. I come in peace. Namaste. Namaste. I'm coming in love. Namaste. But then you be acting up and I'm all like, all right, so yeah, I slept with all your friends. Yesterday, actually, after you left the house, I came in one by one and slept with them all. So there you go.
Because we go from Namaste to Dateline episode real quick.
Like 0.2 seconds. And speaking of real quick, I am so sorry. I know we all over the place. You know how we start. We can't even. Can we get back on what we came to do to talk some ladies sports? I apologize. Yes. I didn't mean to go here, but when you brought up the story about the guy lying about his heart, it just reminded me about my ex who made up that stupid lie. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, it's just so stupid. You don't have to lie. You don't say nothing. Say nothing. You don't have to lie. You say nothing. I'm staying at this hotel. You don't even got your lie right. Like I asked you a question. You didn't prepare the lie. You don't even got the details of the lie. If I'm a lie, I'm gonna have the details and the time. Remember that time I was cheating on my boyfriend and I was going to Mexico and I called you and I was like, we in Mexico together. Okay? I said, when you post, this was some years ago, guys. I've gotten over it. I'm no longer this way. I was like, when you post, tag me like I'm there, even though you don't see me. You remember that?
See, that's a
we
proper
take that
lie.
Like all the way through.
What I want to know, Cari, that gentleman that you're referring to, like why couldn't he have just used a real hotel that was actually in the city? Like, why did he have to say a Ritz?
Because he wasn't in the city. Right. He wasn't in the city. He said he was going to another city doing some work, and he was not even in the city. So he lied about a city he ain't even been to. I don't understand.
I mean, he couldn't do the extra step of like looking up to see if there was actually a Ritz. Like, make up if you're gonna do that, it's like go and look at the hotels that are actually in the city and be like, yeah, I'm staying there.
What? Why? Do you see the way I follow through with my lie? I said, and by the way, for context, I was breaking up with the guy anyway. So that's why I was on a trip elsewhere. And so Jemele was, this was years ago. Oh my God. So telling on myself. And Jemele was, as usual, came through. You tagged me on the post. You acted like you had a good time. It was a generic post. I was like, we just having a good old time, me and my girls.
Because that's the kind of friend that I am. Yes, but Cari, let's get to the sports of it all. As we mentioned at the top of this fine episode, there is a tentative agreement has been reached between the WNBA and the players. So we will be getting some basketball, which is very important because a lot of people really thought that we wouldn't have a season. You were among those who were really worried. I know a lot of people were concerned, but as I contended from the beginning, I think both of these entities, the players and the league, realize they have way too much to lose, way too much at stake. This is a critical juncture in the league. So a deal was going to get done. And a big part of negotiation, I think, is both sides have to feel like they won something. And while the CBA is certainly not perfect, I think that the players, they showed an incredible amount of discipline, togetherness. I mean, we're looking at now a reality where a WNBA player, hold on to your hats, guys, can actually make a living just playing in the WNBA. They are no longer going to be making a salary that resembles a senior bank teller at Wells Fargo. Okay, like they will be able. Not that there's anything wrong with being a senior bank teller at Wells Fargo.
They come in. Y'all get her, bank tellers. Y'all get her. The senior ones especially. Go on and get her. You don't work. Go on and get her. She always is throwing shade. Go ahead.
But you know, the salary cap is going to be raised significantly. I saw Shams Charania from ESPN. He reported that basically a max salary is going to be able to net a player between $1.4 and $2 million. And that is, so we will finally have $1 million players in the WNBA. And so I think that's a good thing. So, you know, despite the fact that, yeah, they didn't get everything they wanted, they had to make a lot of concessions. The reality is that what a incoming player will make now and what a max player will make now are just substantially eons ahead of where they were before.
Well, the deal came through. I was following Annie, who we have talked to before at Front Office Sports. We should probably have her on the show. And, you know, I woke up maybe 6 a.m. this morning, Eastern Standard Time, and she was just getting in the house. Like at 3 a.m. she was posting, and then an hour before I had got, maybe 5 a.m., she's like, it's done, a deal is done. What I find interesting, and I wonder what we'll see, they haven't described or talked about what the rev share is. And so you said you were able to get some details. I'm really curious about the details you were able to get, because I noticed, yes, Supermax salary is supposed to be 7 figures. And allegedly, this is according to reports, like you just said, I think you just said this, 6.5 for salary cap, I think. Is that what it is? 6.5?
Yeah, I think it's like they expect it to be 7 million, what my source told me. And you mentioned the rev share. They said the rev share was around 20%. I don't know if it's exactly 20, but remember I told you before, I think 20 is probably the magic number that's going to happen here. So
where they're going to get it done.
That's where they're going to get it done. So they're looking at a much more significant revenue share. The revenue share was previously at 9%. So this, you know, more than doubles it. And, you know, I think this was an important foundation for the players to lay for the coming generations, for the incoming players. You've said this before, and I think it's a great point, is that these new generations of women's basketball players, they're going to be their expectations are infinitely higher because they're making a lot of money in college, especially the star ones. They're coming in on this is what I know what I'm worth. And the league had to adjust. There's a lot of money being poured into this league. There's new franchises coming. Valuations are skyrocketing. So this was a good starting point to eventually get to the place where we're talking about the WNBA having 5, 10, 15, $20 million players.
But okay, so I know, gosh, and it sounds so sad even saying it, right? Like, wow. But this is a good start, a really good start. So yes, and then they're saying if it's a little less than 20%, is that a win or a loss? If it comes out that it's 18%, is it still a win to you?
I think it's still a win. And, you know, again, like this isn't perfect, but I think economically they were able to check some boxes that the players can feel good about signing this deal. And that's kind of what it boiled down to, is that, you know, it's kind of like when you go shopping and you want, even if you plan to spend a lot of money, you want to feel good about doing it. You want to feel as if the customer service was right. They tended to my needs. And, you know, did I get everything? No, but I feel good about this purchase. And I think this is one of those deals where the players can say, I feel good about the deal that we're signing, because listen, they've gotten something accomplished with every CBA. And this is another one where they were able to dramatically increase the salaries. What I am curious about, because I know one of their other things that they wanted to kind of address is the fact that they don't have a pension. And I wonder, were they able to address that at all?
Well, okay, so these are just the little details that are sneaking out on the internet. The internet's not always right. I'm just going to recap again. Salary cap and structure, roughly 7, what you just said. Player salaries, average salary, meaning the average player expected to be about $600,000. Minimum salaries, meaning just the basic salaries, are $300,000. Top salary is about 1.4. Says players will receive nearly, that's why I said it's not 20%, nearly 20% revenue share. The deal strengthens housing, because you talked about that, retirement. I don't know if they got a pension, family planning, and parental leave benefits. It's a verbal agreement, which means obviously it has to be ratified. It takes a while to do all that. But in the meantime, while this deal is a win, because I want to say congratulations to these ladies. They really did something special. And they may have not received everything they wanted, but they did gain a lot. And that's what you said, which I thought was really smart. When you're negotiating, you want to feel like you've won some things and you've given up some things. And I think both sides maybe feel that way. So that's good for these ladies. And I'm glad they're having a season. I'm really curious about the 3 or 4 of big events that need to happen next, right? We have an expansion draft. We have a draft. We have training camp. And there's also, obviously, free agency. And that, to me, is really going to... all of these things will happen in succession. It'll be really fast. And I think it's going to be crazy. And I look at the future of what's next. We talk about free agency. That, to me, is going to be so exciting. Obviously, all of these things are exciting, right? But free agency... I have a few names I want to throw out there, and I want to talk, because just about everybody is a free agent except for like a handful of players. And I'm really curious about what you think will happen with Asia Wilson. Do you think that her and Bam, as rumors have suggested, might head on up north to Golden State / Valkyries? Do you think that's going to happen? Golden State Warriors / Valkyries.
Yeah, I think Asia's going to stay put. Excuse me. Well, the bigger rumor too, and especially because the timing of the CBA comes when we just heard last week or earlier this week that the NBA is exploring bringing Seattle and Las Vegas NBA teams, expanding in those 2 cities, or in Seattle's case, returning their NBA team. And so people have sort of theorized, or the conspiracy theorists have said, is there a scenario where Asia and Bam play together in Las Vegas, which would be really interesting as well.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It makes a lot of sense. But I'll say in general, I mean, I agree with you. The free agency stuff, we're about to see a flurry of moves because practically everybody's a free agent, because everyone knew they sort of pre-planned and understood that we're going to have a new CBA. There's going to be some new money.
Yep.
So we need to keep ourselves, nimble. The teams that clearly are going to have the advantage are the teams that have a winning culture already, that have a known system, that have continuity. Like, those are going to be the teams that benefit. So that's another reason why I said I think Asia stays in Las Vegas, as well as Jackie Young and some of the other players that they have, because they know that system. Vegas is considered to be one of the best run franchises in the league. The facilities are amazing. They have all the things in place. So if you're a team and an organization that has all the team things in place, then I think you're in a good spot. The teams like, say, Chicago, there's been a lot of, players in that anonymous poll that I think The Athletic does every year. They named Chicago the worst franchise in the league because of how they operate. They're currently in the middle of a lawsuit that exposes some of the issues that they have. Facilities is a major one. And so that's a team that I look like they're going to be in trouble. Obviously they have Angel Reese. She's still on her rookie contract, and I'm not sure how that's sorted out. But they are going to be in trouble in terms of trying to attract players. I mean, yes, they're going to field a team, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of those ladies went elsewhere. And, obviously, if you're an international player, I think there's a little bit of a disadvantage as well, because, some of these international players have been playing internationally. And so, they're probably going to be a little bit more hesitant to maybe jump ship, go to some other places. Could be some visa issues. You see how our immigration culture is now. But I think a lot of the big names, I feel like, will stay put. But I think there probably is going to be a couple of people that you wonder, where do they wind up? Where are they going to go? And I think that's going to make everything super exciting.
Okay, so who is some of the players that you're thinking about? Because I'm like on here looking like I have a couple of ideas and theories. Like in my mind, who would you like to see team up? Is there, like a big 3, the equivalent of a LeBron, Chris, Bosh, and Dwayne Wade? Is there a Kobe / and I don't know, I don't mean to do comps for just men, but I'm just saying, since the NBA has been more established, it's easier to do it that way. Who would you like to see that's the Kobe and Shaq, or the Kobe and just Kobe? Actually, no one else, just Kobe.
Okay.
Nope, just Kobe. Kobe and Shaq is the only thing I can think of, or like the Showtime Lakers when they were at their best, kicking the Detroit Pistons. But or look, I'll even throw you a bone in your ghetto team. Who would be the equivalent of the bad boy Pistons? Like, who would be throwing them bones on everybody? Like those type of players. That's what I want to see. I want those storylines. I want those characters. Bring me the drama.
So, because she is fully healthy and she looks really amazing playing in the FIBA World Cup, Caitlin Clark, they have a foundation in her and Aaliyah Boston. Her team, I believe they made the playoffs. They made the playoffs essentially without her, and they were a pretty strong team. A lot of people thought they would fall apart, and they didn't. But if you're Indiana and you're seeing that Caitlin's fully healthy, Aaliyah Boston, I'm sure they're going to get that done because I think she is a free agent as well. And she probably, of course, she wants to play with Caitlin Clark and be on a team that is considered to be on the rise. This is an opportunity for Indiana possibly to make some moves and strengthen what they already have. Maybe, I'm not trying to have anybody lose their job, but I think they might potentially have an opportunity to make some upgrades. There's a lot of players who probably would love to play with Caitlin Clark because you're thinking about the type of player she is. Like, she has incredible court vision. So you're going to get the ball. And the attention she draws is going to make your life easier as an offensive player. Not to mention the type of spotlight that she commands. Like, you're going to be on national TV basically every game. Okay. Mm-hmm. Like, you are going to be living in a different kind of limelight. And so I would imagine that the Fever will be a really attractive place for a lot of free agents. I think the Valkyries is the same thing. The Valkyries, they led the league in attendance. And this is a franchise that is on the rise. And I think because of the fan base they have, the support they have, the organization they have the structure, they have the culture, they have one of the brightest coaches in the league. That is going to be a place that people are going to be looking at like, I might want to mess around and play for Golden State. So I kind of am leaning into this theory of the teams that have established coaches, culture, and organizations, like the Liberty. Those teams, they are going to be the biggest beneficiaries when it comes to free agency.
Okay. Well, I can't wait. You're absolutely right about that. I can't wait to see all of that happen. I'm looking for my bad boys, and we're going to call them the bad girls. And I want to encourage it, ladies. I want you not to feel like you have to be dainty. I want you to get out there and to throw some elbows and just get out there and win and be a gangster about it, because you don't get to do that all the time. Oh, and look, as we wrap up this deal, what we didn't even what we forgot to mention is that we are going to. Are you still coming to New York for the draft? For the WNBA draft?
Yes,
we're not covering the draft itself,
right?
But we're going to be doing some things around the draft. Okay. I think it would be a great idea for us to get to these ladies, whisper in their ears, tell them they need to be more gangster. They need to start more fights. We need to tell them that we want them to come into the league and disrupt this entire league, because we want more eyeballs. We want more attention. That means more money, the whole thing. No? You don't like that? You don't like that theory? Don't teach them to be gangsters.
They don't actually have to scrap to get attention.
Shit. You get some more attention. I'd be tuning in.
Play good basketball.
Fine. That too, Jemele. Coupled with a little bit of like Clarissa Shields drama. Like, you know what I mean? Like, give me some of that.
Okay. So what you're saying is like, we need some season, not season long drama, but we need a little bit of edginess is what you're saying to like really get this WNBA season in motion.
Let's script some things. Apparently everything is scripted. Let's script some things. Cat Williams said that the Will Smith, Chris Rock slap was scripted. Let's script some things. Apparently it brings a lot of attention. March Madness kicks off tonight. Are you watching it? No, are you on a flight back to LA? Or are you going to stay in Delaware and hang out with Joe Biden?
And hang out with the Delawareans?
Joe Biden. With Joe. Hanging out with Joe. Old Sleepy Joe. You and Joe.
No, actually, I don't leave till tomorrow, so I will spend tonight here in Delaware. So I'm looking to hit the town, see what this city's all about. Good old Newark, Delaware. But no, I will be watching. Actually, I will be watching March Madness. There are a couple games tonight. Got Nebraska, Richmond, Missouri State, is also playing, and I think that's Stephen F. Austin. Stephen F. Austin, is that what it's called? That university, I think that's what it's called, right? So yes, there's a couple entertaining games tonight.
So you gonna go to a local bar?
Well, my hotel actually has a pretty decent bar, so I think I can just go down there, have an adult beverage or two, and watch a little hoops. What about you? Do you? What is there any updates that you have to give us on Chalant? Is Chalant King okay? Is Chalant G doing all right?
Yeah, Chalant King okay. He's doing okay. I just had a quick question though. When you go to the bar, and since cheating is not a big deal for you, and you're out and about, if someone is trying to show you their penis, are you going to say okay since cheating is not a big deal for you? It happens. Remember how you said it's contextual, like, I slipped up on some peen. Are you going to do that or no?
Man, that question.
You don't have time for me. Okay.
Escalated really quickly. Hear what Buffy said? She said that's no one's love language. I'm like, no, more than likely if that happened to me in a bar, Cari, I'm calling the police. That's just me. If anybody shows me their man region in a bar, I am calling the authorities. All right? So please don't do that. Okay? On top of me being a married woman, that also sounds very close to assault. So,
oh yeah, wait, it's so funny though because Jemele has had some incidents, and she just was like, "Let me just be clear. Well, I know we joking, but for those who don't know we joking, don't do it. Don't even try it, sir." Anyway, no, I. What is wrong with me? Every show, I ask myself this: what is wrong with me? And I don't know. I don't know.
I ask myself that about you every hour.
You're rude. No, I am gonna watch some games tonight. I was thinking after I leave here, I'm going to have more work to do per usual. But I was thinking tonight I might go to a local bar. No peen for me, guys. Don't come up to me and show it. I'm also with Jemele. Might go to a local bar, but Chalant King and I have a date tomorrow, so I'll have an update on that on Friday. We have a date tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Where do you know where you and Chalant King are going?
Probably dinner. But I will say this. Do you think mentioning him affects my other dates? Why did Coscarelli laugh? Coscarelli making it. Do you think if I continue to discuss him, this will stop all of my dates? I'm curious.
You are kind of running the risk of a Coldplay concert situation happening. Where you get caught out somewhere with somebody. Yes, you get caught out there with somebody, and then next thing you know, you slide into the floor trying to hide. But, you said that you and Chalant King have an understanding, so you're still fair game.
We do. We do have an understanding, but I'm going to tell you how selfish I am. If I saw him out with somebody, I roll right up on him and be like, "What's going on here?"
Of course, you
crazy.
Would, Cari. That is.
I'd be like, "So you trying to? What is wrong with you?" Because it just is in my vision. I don't care if it's happening outside of my vision, but it's in my vision. I don't want to see it.
Okay, so if you ran up on Chalant King and he was with another lady caller, you would roll up and cause a little bit of a scene, is what you're telling me.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't cause a scene. Gosh, no. I'd poker face all day, but I'd be like, "Hello, how are you?" That's what I'd be like. "How are you?" And then, "Who is this young lady?" And then I'd be like, "And who are we? Tell me more about yourself." I'd be all in the business, making him uncomfortable, making his balls sweaty because I want to know what's going on. He'd be all nervous, scratching.
Would he be doing this, Cari? Would he be doing this?
Like, what
and on that note
is wrong with me? And on that note,
what is wrong with Cari Marissa Champion? That's what we want to know. If you guys have any ideas,
Marissa.
Yes, let us know. If you guys have any idea what is wrong with this woman, please let us know.
Cari Lucretia Champion.
Yes, that's right.
Okay,
yes.
Listen. I just love to have a good time. I really do. I know I'm not even being funny. I really do. I enjoy Chalant King. It's so light and easy. I would walk up to him and say hi if I did see him on a date, but only to tease him about it later because I have 0 sense. Like I'd be like, I saw her. Her hair was nappy. Her shoes was runt over. She had halitosis. her lash fell off. Okay, I'm sorry. What is wrong? It's time to go. I gotta go. I don't have time.
Yes, we've had enough
Friend,
of your
I love you so
shenanigans, Marissa.
I love you so much, friend. I hope you enjoyed the pod. I enjoyed it. Flagrant and funny. Me and my friend Jay. She's in Delaware. Don't roll up on her, but she's happy to say hi and take autographs. No?
Yes, just don't show me any parts that don't need to be shown.
No regions.
No regions.
All right. Love you, friend.